So I did have a question for you real quick. I knew it was gonna be short, but it's
Yeah.
doing this. So I had something I want to talk to you about real quick, right?
Yeah.
So you hear a lot of artists talk about they got robbed on their albums when they do their music, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not knowing that how much it actually takes to cost or how much it costs to put into the album. And the reason what made me think of that is when I was when I was getting my list, and I remember Mace going on that whole rant saying did ejected for his publishing and he owed him money and everything, right? And then I was looking at his credits, right? And I was like, bro, I know he had to be in the hole for that album. Ain't no way he made his money back off the album, and he only went double platinum, right?
Yeah. You talking
So
about writers and all that shit?
right,
Producers?
I'm just talking about
On.
the features.
Yeah.
The boy had a feature on damn near every song, and then they was sampling like crazy. So like, all right, for instance, like of course you know he had Puff on a bunch of joints, but he had DMX on 2 joints. He had 112 on like 2 or 3 joints. He had Lil Kim on the album.
Well, you know 112 probably ain't count. Lil Kim ain't count. I'm sure they probably did it.
Well, 112. I mean, they all still can't still Puff still gonna charge him for it. Like
That's
they might
Bad
not
Boy,
pay as
right?
much.
Was
Yeah, 'cause they
112
bad
Bad
boy,
Boy? Yeah.
but he still gonna charge him for it. Well, Lil Kim one, she was never bad boy, but 112 was right. Then he had A Ball MJG on there. He had Busta Rhymes on there.
Yeah.
He had Toto on a couple joints. He had Lil Season Jay Z on the album. He had Locks, Black Rob, Monifa. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
like, bro,
Everybody
JD
know
did the beat.
like Black Rob and all them boys, like the
A
ones
lot of them, a lot of them
that
are bad boy artists, but
yeah,
they
that I
still
seen
don't
post.
get. He still like he may like Mace may have not paid them out of pocket,
Yeah.
but it definitely wouldn't get across his budget. They definitely charged him for it. Then the studio time, and then all those people making beats for him. I'm like, bro, like they had the Neptunes made a beat. Let's say JD made a beat. Uh, Mo Suave has made a beat. Dame Grease, all the hitmen. Like, bro, he put a lot of money into that album, dog. Then
That's
all
why
the
Puff,
samples that was on that song. Like, bro, I'm look, bro.
that's why Puff ain't wanted. Hey, like shit. I paid too much money for this, bro.
He sampled Isaac Hayes,
Had to get all them cleared, and
BT
ain't
Express,
and ain't no telling
Tina
what they
Marie,
wanted.
Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, Cool in the Game, Curtis Mayfield. Oh, you know he had to pay for Michael Jackson. He
Yep.
sampled Michael Jackson. The Brothers Johnson. Who is this? I don't really know people like they sample New Edition. Like, bro, Puff easy spit 2 to 3 mil on that album, bro. Easily. And he
Mm.
on like, so and you know he gonna talk for himself. He on what? About five of the songs. 1, 2, 3, 4.
But did they ever come out and I remember all the issues and May saying he won't pay.
Mm,
But did they ever really come out and talk about, you know what I'm saying, that album? Or did Puff ever, you know what I'm saying, ever mention like what it took, like how much it was to put that project together? And
not that I know of.
yeah, I ain't never seen him like really come out and say nothing, speak on it or say nothing about that.
Yeah, nah. As far as I know, if he never did, I know he kept saying that he wanted. At first he was like he wasn't gonna give it to him at all. The publisher, you know what I'm saying? Mace went on that whole crusade trying to get his publishing for it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, and Puff was making too much money for it to give it to him. Then he told him a number. I think at one point in time he told him Mace said he offered him $2 million, and Puff told him no. And Puff said he'd give it to him for 5. And Mace was like, no.
But they
And
ended up doing something, right? Because then something come out. May
I,
said
I
he ended
think
up paying him something or doing something.
I think he gave him something, but Puff started giving most of the artists they
Yeah,
publishing
all
back
they
anyway.
publishing, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, of course, you know, he probably kept certain ones. Like I would have kept the Mace joint because ain't nobody really making money off that right now, but as far as we know.
Cause
But
Mason,
Biggie joints, biggest CD's gonna always be able to make money. So I doubt if he gave that back to his mama or his kids.
cause Mason was saying he was writing for a whole bunch of people for the label.
Yeah, you definitely. Excuse me. Like I was definitely when I was listening to the album, I was like, man, I definitely hear that era of everything Puff was doing that Mason had his hand in, because he sounded just like Mason down to everything you start thinking about back in them days. Because at that time, that's when Mason was writing everything, and Kiss was still writing for him too.
Yeah.
So he bounced between them. Like he did Mason a lot, but Kiss wrote for him too on certain joints. You can hear it. Yeah, man. I didn't wonder what you thought about artists who be saying they be get robbed when you hear that, but not realize how much money people put into those albums.
I mean, a lot of them said, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, too, I be questioning how much some of them albums cost, because you know what I'm saying, the bigger you are in the game, you probably doing a whole lot of it probably be a whole lot of favors being done. Puffy was big, so I'm sure he was getting some favors. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure he was getting some favors uh
Um,
from a lot of people. Well, I ain't gonna say favors
but
as
most of
far
the
as
guys
free,
were bad
but
boy artists.
I'm sure he was getting some decent discount.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm looking at it, even though, like I said, I know he charged him a lot, especially for his name. Say DMX was on 2 joints. He had a verse and he had a hook. I think maybe he probably had to pay for the hook. The one he did the hook, the verse, they swapped out because Mason's on DMX first album. That could have been a swap.
Yeah, and I'm finna say that's what they do too. They'll swap. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm
If
saying?
if Swiss had this thing going with DMX and they was able to get Mace or somebody from Bad Boy over there, like, oh,
Right.
we'll return the song back to you, or however that goes. So they be doing all that shit too.
You know what I'm saying? Then like probably had to pay for Kim. Well, she probably could have did that for nothing because you know what I'm saying. She was cool. You know what I'm saying with the clip.
I think mostly it'd be the damn clearing the samples.
Oh, definitely that.
That's what you know what I'm saying. Especially for them older artists, like some of them older artists you mentioned, like shit, you don't know where they at financially right now. Shit, they
Mm-hmm.
probably, oh yeah, oh you want this sample? Okay, yeah, it's gonna cost
Yeah,
you.
they need the money. Then like
Yeah.
the ones, the bigger joints, like he gonna have to pay for
Curtis
Michael Jackson for
Mayfield
sure.
and stuff like that. Shit.
Yeah, man, Isaac Hayes.
Isaac Hayes, yeah.
So he might have to come off of Busta Rhymes unless Diddy got in. Well, nah, because Diddy was never really on Busta stuff, but he was on. So that probably was just a 2 for 1. He was up in the studio because you remember he was also did the hook on the No Way Out joint,
Yeah.
the Victory joint.
Mm-hmm.
So no telling how that went. Jay, that's probably a favor
That's
for
why I said
Big.
with Jay, I think that was either a
Same
favor
with
or a
C's.
discount.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
But a lot of artists get into that, man. They they don't they don't think about all that. A lot of artists don't think about all that. And they don't think about the build a label front, like when they touring for like hotels and
Studio time.
transportation and
They be killing them on the studio time.
studio time. That's the main part, the studio time. But if I'm, you know what I'm saying, I understand
Cause
because
you gotta remember
it's a business.
they in them big studios, so they
Yeah,
paying
it's a business.
$200-$300 an hour.
But bruh, you can still get your own studio at the crib. If you in the game, you can get some decent equipment. You can still record the rough draft there. And just and just send it to the damn engineer and the master and the last person that's gonna master it for the final. You know what I'm saying?
Or
You
they
can
can
cut.
what they just do like a lot of them used to do, just get the big CDs, you go home, you ain't gotta sit in the studio and work. You can go to the crib, write to the beat, practice it, and then when you go, you know what I'm saying, you get
Studio
like
just
2 or 3
yeah,
songs down, you go lay down 2 or 3 songs in one night. You know what I'm
man,
saying? You ain't gotta be there all day.
man, shit. When I
That's
used
why
to go to
Pac used to work crazy.